Hey, Mike. How's it going, man? I just managed to get my 1-year-old to bed between the Namibia game and this game. It took me like 8 minutes. The one time I needed her to go to sleep quickly, it happened. Prediction. I think I picked Ireland for this one, but not by a whole lot. And interestingly, I bought a 24-pack of Heineken because it's all sponsored by the World Cup. And look which beer I just happened to pull out. Is that an omen? I don't know. But yeah. Either way, should be good. Should be a good game. Definitely the biggest game of the day. No disrespect to like Tonga, England, and Namibia, Italy, but this one is crucial. Absolutely crucial. Congratulations on getting the kid to sleep. Yes, it was very vital that she went to sleep quickly so I could get everything else ready. Are you guys actually watching the game? Because it's just kicked off on my one. The only reason I can actually do the live stream now is because Spark Sport here in New Zealand stuffed it up. So they've put this game on TV as kind of compensation. So TV here, computer here. A bit ahead of the Super Sports streaming. Okay, I'll try to not spoil anything too much. Also, I am streaming over Wi-Fi, so if that goes to hell, I'll have to move the computer closer to the router so I can plug it in. Lama is going to have a big game at fullback with Carney not fit. There's been a fair few Irish fans who are pretty critical about Lama actually making the side, so... Not ahead of Super Sport. Okay. Oh, man. Hog is dangerous, but couldn't quite gather that one. It's messy so far. It's frantic. I hope you guys are all watching it as well. Here in New Zealand, they've got what seems to be the ITV commentary team anyway, so it'll be the same. Probably, I'm assuming SuperSport's also using the ITV commentary team for this one. It would make sense with two Six Nations teams. Do I think South Africa will go through to the semi-finals? This game could be interesting in that regard because will Ireland look impressive? Will Scotland look impressive? How's that going to go? That's a big question. How was your experience with Spark Sport during the game? Actually, not too bad. I did use Spark Sport to watch the All Blacks in South Africa. It buffered like 4 or 5 times. And my internet should be plenty quick to stream that game. So, I mean, still might have been on my end. But, yeah, for the most part, it was okay. Some people apparently had really terrible times. I had more trouble with the Fiji and Australia game than the South Africa and New Zealand game. So, it seems like it was a bit of a mixed bag. Loose pass. Online stream was a minute or two behind the decoder time. Okay, that makes sense. I noticed the other day when they had the game free to air and on my computer was slightly slower than what was on the TV. So it just seems if you're streaming it, that's always going to be a touch slower. Who are you guys predicting for this one? Anybody picking Scotland? Mine is ITV in the UK. Yeah, that makes sense. Just going to take the autofocus off because it drove me up the wall. What's that flag behind you? That's the Ulster flag. Excuse me while I write a couple of notes for the review later. I'm not the best multitasker. Ireland by 9. Ireland. Scotland might just pull one out of the hat. Ireland by 7. Ireland by 10. Okay, most of you guys are Ireland by 15. Most of you guys seem to be picking Ireland. That seems to be a common theme. Number 1 team in the world going into this World Cup, so I guess that makes a bit of sense. Ireland are going through some phases here. Henderson. Oh no, just broke my pen. Shout out to Namibia. They will beat Canada. I have my money on it. I've also picked Namibia to beat Canada in that game. But I will watch the rest of the games and maybe decide. I don't know where you guys are up to on the stream. I'm on 5.5 minutes with Ireland all on attack. They are literally just shy of the line. My whiteboard's just next to me over there. I kind of had to, I'm sitting on the floor. I had to get this one organized in a quite a hurry. Just so I'm not spoiling this for anyone, have you guys seen what I just saw? Because something happened. Okay, that London fella has seen it. James Ryan, man, that guy's an excellent, excellent player. It's kind of no surprise that him that gets the try, is it? The forwards were never going to give that ball to the backs. Although Lama went close. Good start for Ireland. Very good start for Ireland. The scissor run was forward, man. I was probably too busy looking at my notepad, but yeah. I'll see if they show it on the replay. One thing Squidge Rugby pointed out is that Johnny Sexton takes a very, very, very long time with his kicks. I wonder if he'll do the same this week. Like, this one's not a very hard kick, and yeah, he's taking his full time to get it done. But he slots it over the dot, so I guess that makes sense. 7-zip. A minute behind. Yeah, no worries, Mike. I'll catch you maybe at halftime or after. Right now, I'm up to 7 minutes and 45. They've just kicked off from that Ireland try. Scotland can't afford to go too far behind in this game, or they will be in big trouble. You feel like Ireland are a team that once they get in front, will just kind of strangle the life out of you. That being said, I mean, they came back well, Scotland, against England in the Six Nations, so you never know. You never know. Heard it's free somewhere because Spark was having streaming issues, and I'm 8 seconds behind you watching ITV in the UK. Okay, yeah, this is free to air on New Zealand TV. It's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be on Spark Sports streaming service, but they made a muck-up of the New Zealand-South Africa game last night, so they're putting today's 3 games free on TV. Hence, my computer is free to stream here. When I tested this before, like with the Japan-Russia game, which was also free to air, it was 10 seconds ahead of whenever I was on the computer. So, yeah. Jerome Garcia's, yeah, I mean, that guy didn't have his best game, did he? But I thought the game overall was pretty entertaining. Dream final would be Ireland against the All Blacks. Oh, I don't know what my dream final will be. There's so many multiple options. If you go South Africa, New Zealand, that's their 100th game. If you go Ireland against New Zealand, Ireland have had the wood over New Zealand in recent times, so that would be kind of a huge challenge to see if the All Blacks can come back from that. All Blacks v Wales would have, notice the common theme is the All Blacks in all these finals, but yeah, that would have the Warren Gatland connection. So yeah, there's multiple finals that I would like to see. Finals are usually best when it's between Northern Hemisphere and Southern Hemisphere team. Yeah, for sure. Dream final would be US and New Zealand, but it won't happen. But that's your dream. Yeah, well, that's what a dream final is, I guess. Maybe in 100 years? 50? I don't know. At least the US have got the Major League Rugby thing going now, so that's already a good start. Scotland goes 6 phases and spill the ball. Man, Lama's got gas. For all his haters, that guy is an exciting player to watch. Bodies all over the place. New Zealand, England would be the final, dream final. Yeah, there is something about playing England for sure. Wow. Maitland took a mark and then took it quick as, and Ireland were not ready for that. So we'll see how. Okay. Sexton just steps. No problem. When he's in kind of cool, calm, and collected mode, he is one of the world's best. Springboks will struggle against Italy. You reckon? Italy struggled at times today against Namibia, but overall got a pretty decent result. 40-odd points. 47 points. Ireland's defence thus far is looking very sharp. This is ominous for Scotland. I'm going to look at the stats because right now they seem like a big green brick wall. If you can get green bricks, they're there right now. Ireland's tackling stat, 95%. Yep. They are looking pretty sound. Fiji are looking promising, yeah. At times again. Initially thought there would be an England-South Africa final, done to bed against New Zealand. I mean, man, in the knockout stages, you never know. It only takes one bad game and you're done. So, yeah, it could still happen. Could definitely still happen. Yeah. Scotland are under all kinds of pressure at the moment. I don't know if you guys are watching, but it's 12 minutes in. It's 7-0 to Ireland, and Ireland have got the ball in Scotland's 22. We're watching it live too. Good. Everybody should be watching this. Ireland win a penalty. What do they do here? It's all Ireland at the moment. Just realized my Scotland beer is not a twist top. I'm looking for something that I can prise the bottle open with, because I do not carry a bottle opener on me. What have I got lying around? Maybe my notebook? Eye socket, good God, no, I can't stand that. And teeth, oh, that's horrendous. That is horrendous. Can't stand it. I can do it with like a fork or a teaspoon or all kinds of stuff, but I need something. Oh, first super chat of the night. John T. Is it Hare or Hare? Did Jerome Garces get it right last night? Which parts? I guess New Zealand fans were definitely harping on about two things: the Mapimpi not getting carded or penalty try, and also saying that Peter Steff was offside for his try. That's the New Zealand side. And I know South Africa were bemoaning a lot of offside and forward passes. So, if Scotland just held up on a try. Oh, it is a try. I've only watched the game the one time. Been trying to sneak a bit of sleep in here and there. It'd be nice to go back and really kind of slow it down at times to see how much of that stuff was right. But I felt like he missed a wee bit. I don't think he ruined the game. I still thought the game was overall pretty entertaining. So, yeah, that's kind of where I stood on that one. You can open it with A4 paper and teeth. I can't do teeth, man. I'm thinking about this pen, but I almost broke the end of it earlier when I was trying to open it with the pen. It's not a very sturdy pen. And hands in the ruck. Yeah. Some of the breakdown stuff, he was perhaps a bit sloppy. Man, Scotland are in big trouble. Rory Best. $12-0 conversion to come. Reese Hodge on Yato. Yeah, to be honest, I don't know if it's because I always write notes in the game or because they didn't dwell on it in the thing. I just saw the hit and thought it was a big hit. I didn't think it looked that bad on first viewing, but then I've seen it slowed down. It does look pretty horrendous, doesn't it? So if World Rugby is supposedly clamping down all that kind of stuff, then yeah, maybe he should have been carded. Rory Best is the best. Belt buckle. Belt buckle is made of metal. I can do belt buckle. That's a genius bit of advice. And I should say, John T, man, thank you for the super chat. It's really much appreciated. Helps things out very much. I mean, I can't complain. I'm on 3 weeks annual leave, but getting a super chat certainly makes my day a little bit better. Right. Belt buckle to open the beer. Let's hope the pants don't fall down later. Professional as always, right? Opening a beer with a belt buckle while live streaming. At least it's made of metal and it's not going to break. Hey, look at that. Belt buckle. Genius. Cheers, everybody. Well, we'll see if, given I got Scotland open, if Scotland can actually open up or if they're going to keep getting beaten. What is a super chat? It's where people donate money on the live stream. YouTube calls it a super chat. I forget what they call it on Twitch. Ooh. Okay. This might actually be a chance for Scotland. I'll make an error under a high ball. Scotland. Maybe it's my beer opening the bottle. Nobody was next to him. Should have got that one. Card or not, it was a shitty tackle by Hodge. As an Aussie fan, my read, Hodge can't run, can't kick, can't tackle. He shouldn't be there at all. But he's versatile. He plays everywhere. He may not play well everywhere, but he plays everywhere. What time is it in your country? It is 8:07 p.m. on Sunday. I do not have work tomorrow. Hooray. Is YouTube your only job? Oh, no way. No way. I have a day job. I wish YouTube was my only job. I work at a university here in Auckland, and I go to meetings and do other office reporting, Excel spreadsheets and whatnot. So I keep the rugby for my free time when I'm not with the family. I do have 21 people on Patreon, so I'm slowly edging my way to trying to think about getting a job which is a bit less time intensive. If the YouTube thing can kind of balance out the financial side, then maybe I can get a job which, I don't know, just more free, maybe part-time, and then I can watch more rugby. That would be the dream. What's wrong with South Africa? I mean, I think both sides last night had issues. I don't think neither of them was that sharp. The South African defense at some points looked fantastic, and then other times not so much. Likewise, the New Zealand attack. So, yeah. Man, Scotland have got an overlap. Seymour's going down the wing. But they've caught him. Scotland probably need to score soon. They are attacking in the Irish, just outside the Irish 22, and they've won a penalty. Okay, this game could be going to get interesting. Just standing around in a yellow jersey isn't playing. Speaking of Reece Hodge. He runs. Reece Hodge, he's got a big boot. Are you doing fantasy rugby for the World Cup? No, man. I've played fantasy rugby before, and when I get into it, I get obsessive about it. So I decided not to do it because at the end of the pool stages, I have to go back to my day job while watching the knockout stages. So I don't want to be juggling rugby fantasy on top of that with kids and whatnot. So yeah, I decided to do my free time a favor. I cook for 600 prisoners. Trust me, that's more interesting than the meetings I go to. At least you're doing something constructive. Do you reckon the 95 All Blacks were poisoned before the final? How old was I in 95? Like 11? Scotland just kicked a penalty. On the board. Yeah, I was only a young fella during that World Cup. I heard they all had some kind of sickness. Yeah, something about a Susie who like poisoned them. I don't know. It could have just been a bug that was going around. You know, sometimes that breaks out. It gets like stomach flu amongst the guys. It's a conspiracy theory. I don't know. Like, if you ask me, is it more likely that the All Blacks got poisoned or that the moon landing was faked? I would probably say that the All Blacks being poisoned is more likely. If you would ask me, do I reckon either is true, then yeah, I don't have any compelling evidence. So, what score do you think for England against Tonga? I mean, Tonga got walloped the other day by the All Blacks, but I can't see Tonga like getting beaten by that much or even near that much in this game. I think maybe 30 points. Hopefully Tonga can really step up. Hopefully that game kind of galvanized them as a team and makes them want to kind of step up and do a bit better for the country. So, oh man, Ireland, another mistake. Stockdale has just fluffed a kick, like chasing a kick back, and he's knocked it into touch. So it's going to be a Scottish line out. Momentum, man. Momentum. Poisoning thing was true. The guy went to prison. Really? I just remember rumors about some lady named Susie, and it was the people that had a certain dish that all got sick. The ones that didn't have it were fine. So Scotland have fluffed that, and now Hogg is having to chase back a ball which probably would have gone into his in goal, but it hit the post. That is bad luck for Scotland. That's going to be a 5-meter scrum. That was Russell's pass. Tonga by 9 against England. That would be up there with Japan beating South Africa last time. Pacific teams should be careful about what they eat and drink. How many points do you think Tonga will score and allow? I hope they score a couple of tries. I hope they, like, if they can do what Namibia just did with Canada, that would be cool. Like, at least don't go out like being disgraced like they did against the All Blacks. Where do you think the 2023 World Cup will be held? Isn't it being held in France? I'm not sure about the one after. Seems like a long way away at the moment. Oh, Stunder from the back of the scrum. And Scotland managed to stop him. Is it just me or is CJ Stunder not quite as... Oh, man, but Furlong, I was going to say, not quite as like piercing as a runner as he used to be, but then, bam, Furlong just goes over. Wow, that hitting the post has cost Scotland 7 points, and that's just a fluke. But, man, Ireland did phenomenal work there. Man, Ireland looking the business. Man, Joe Schmidt's got no emotion on his face. Tar says, expat living in Oz, appreciate the content. All good, man. I understand, depending on where you are in Oz, the amount of rugby union content is pretty limited. When I was in Melbourne, because my aunt lives there, it's all AFL. When I was in Sydney, because my mate lives there, it was mostly rugby league. So, yeah, you kind of have to go searching for the rugby union content when you're in in Australia. Don't teams take nutritionists, cooks, and chefs with them? Now they should, right? Oh, what a kick. 19 points to 3. Man. This is not looking good for Scotland. Prashanth, man, you got work tomorrow. What are you doing here? You got some KBs to publish, man. Prashanth works in my office. This is the second time he's dropped into my live streams, and he was the first one in my office to find out that I have a YouTube channel. Rugby league in England as well. Yeah, I have a feeling there wouldn't league be smaller than union in England? Because in Australia it's way bigger. Like, I mean, Australia has 4, maybe 5 if you count the Western Force, 5 professional rugby league union teams, and a whole lot more league teams. Maybe like, is it 12? Can't see Scotland coming back in the second half. It's going to be tough. 19-3 down. And with the Irish defending like they are, I mean, you can't write Scotland off after what they did with England last Six Nations, but yeah, that ain't going to be easy. Did you see the Southland Stags beat Counties? That is humiliating. Yeah, Southland Stags, if you guys aren't aware, are the Mitre 10 Cup team who are the perennial wooden spooners. I think they hadn't won a game for so many years. And they finally got a win, and they absolutely walloped Counties like 40-something to, was it like 15? So they finally got a win, I think first time in like 4 years. Good on them, finally got a win. And the fans always turn up, man. Those fans in Southland are loyal. Man, Ireland put a kick over. Scotland can't secure the ball. This is getting costly. 3 years. Okay, 3 years. 3 years for Southland without a win. That's just horrendous. But like I said, man, the fans still kept going after 3 years without a win. That's just the definition of loyalty. Don't expect your team to get a win. You still turn out to see them play. I wish Blues fans could say the same. I won't get another penalty. Damn. You had a great time in Southland. You have family there. Grim buggers, but I would be too living there. Yeah, Southland's notoriously pretty cold. I've never been that far south. I've only been to Dunedin, and not in winter. So I went down to see the Auckland Blues. Well, just the Blues play there against the Highlanders when that stadium was only a few years old. So back when John Kirwan was coaching the Blues. See the hiding Bay of Plenty put on Northland? Yeah, didn't Bay of Plenty get a red card as well? With all this rugby on, I've been struggling to see the Mitre 10 Cup stuff. Jonty, man, another super chat. Cheers, man. You're too kind. Very, very kind. And your name makes me think of Jonty Rhodes. I don't know if you're South African, but Jonty is a cool name because Jonty Rhodes was one of my favorite cricketers. Played cricket when I was in school. Great fielder. Very athletic. Kind of the mold, which with a lot of fielders now kind of set themselves by. What games did you watch at the Rugby World Cup 2011? Oh, standard on a big line break for Ireland. I went to the opening game against Tonga, which was fantastic, apart from the train service, which was terrible. I still remember that to this day, being packed like a sardine on a train that wasn't moving for like 40 minutes. It was horrible. I'd been offered a lift, and I was like, nah, I'll just take the train. Don't worry about it. Big mistake. But the opening ceremony was cool. The Māori performance at the start, it was spine tingling, like made my hair stand up kind of performance. So that was cool. I saw the All Blacks play France in the pool. That was also pretty cool because the French fans were really boisterous. I saw Australia play Italy over on the North Shore because my Aussie mate, for the one who said lives in Sydney, he came over for that game. The Aussies were a bit lackluster in that one, but they still scored. I saw that famous Irish win over Australia at Eden Park. So yeah, that was a pretty amazing game as well because the Irish fans were just absolutely living it up because they weren't the favourites for that one. And I saw one more. It was like Fiji against. It was either Tonga. Oh, it was Samoa. I saw Fiji against Samoa, and that one was awful. It was on paper. It looked like it was going to be a really great game, but it was terrible. I did have one more ticket, but I had to go back to my job in China, so I gave it to my dad. That was Scotland, England. So, yeah, those are the 2011 games that I went to. I went to as many as I could. World Rugby has mentioned they will be giving a developing country the 2027 World Cup. They haven't asked the USA about hosting, but USA haven't put in an offer. USA would be a good destination for a lot of people. Like I feel like a lot of people would want to go to the USA for a holiday and then see the rugby at the same time. So it's an attractive destination. How much domestic support they would get? Maybe. Well, depends on where they host the games, I guess. Like Chicago, when the All Blacks played, they always had a really good crowd. That being said, the All Blacks are always a pretty good draw. But Jonty, I hope that answers your question. I think that's all the Rugby World Cup games I went to in 2011. I came back from China. I was working there, especially just to watch the Cup. Favorite food and beer? Man, that's a tough question. I'm definitely not a food or beer connoisseur. But I know I eat a lot of Eggs Benedict whenever I go out for breakfast. Not that I go out for breakfast very often, but if I go out for breakfast or brunch, I probably order Eggs Benedict with bacon. So, yep. I lived in China for 7 years, so I'm still pretty partial to a meat pie. I missed the old meat pies when I was in China because you sure as heck cannot buy meat pies over in China. So, meat pies, Eggs Benedict. I tried this beer, the Windhoek beer. It was pretty nice. I probably haven't had it enough times to say it's my favorite. But yeah. What channel are you watching Ireland, Scotland? I'm watching it on Duke, which is a television New Zealand channel free to air because Spark Sport mucked up the coverage yesterday, so they put it free to air. So I'm watching it on the telly. Scotland have a mall. Not that I've been talking much about this game. Scotland have a mall, and they're in the Irish half, so they could probably use some kind of points here because they are 19-3 down after 33 minutes. But the Irish defense is just immense today. Yeah, Taranaki do need a good win in the Mitre 10 Cup. This is true. "34 minutes. Scotland are in the Irish 22. They've still got the ball, but they're going to have to do something special to break the Irish defense, and they do not. Who was that? Flew out of the line. Stockdale. Stockdale flew out and just clobbered Hogg. And then they knocked it on. Man. Normal Windhoek or Windhoek draft. It was Windhoek draft. It's the only one that I could find here in New Zealand. Are you still sponsored by ExpressVPN? Yeah, they give me a commission for anyone who signs up. But it's kind of good because another VPN got in contact with me as well to like, hey, do you want to partner up? And I was like, nah, I'm already partnered up with ExpressVPN. But Express is the one that I used when I was in China. So at least I could actually say, like, I've used this before and it's legit rather than just being like, hey, sign up for this random product that I've never heard of. So, because in China, YouTube's blocked, Facebook's blocked, everything, Google's blocked, Gmail's blocked, Google Drive is blocked. So I had to use the VPN a lot while I was in China. So I used ExpressVPN. It kind of works. And they've been my backup option here in New Zealand when Spark Sport's been stuffing up. So, yeah, it kind of works. I'm hoping everyone who signs up to ExpressVPN is having a good experience watching the games on ITV. So, it's kind of win-win. What a tackle by Stockdale, right? Yeah, it was, man. Stockdale. I'll write that down. Tackled Hog. Oh, Stockdale's got the ball. He's the man of the moment. They only just brought him down on the 22. Windhoek draft is okay, but preferred table lager. Taffel table lager. Okay. Thoughts on the Pro 14 since it's a week away? Is the Pro 14 really starting in a week? I have been totally obsessed with the World Cup, man. I didn't even notice. I know Top 14's already started, which was bizarre to be starting before a World Cup, but there were still fans at the game, so I guess it's the same with the Mitre 10 Cup still going here in New Zealand. I guess the rugby's got to go on. Can't just wait, but I would imagine most people's eyeballs are going to be on this, at least until some of the countries get knocked out. Oh, man. Scotland forward pass. Cheetahs should be better in Pro 14 after winning the Currie Cup, although it's a shame Franco Smith has gone. Yeah, I saw... Who was it that came back for... Was it Ruan Pina came back for the Cheetahs for this year's Currie Cup? And won it. John T. What's for dinner? Bro, I already had dinner. Dinner was a couple hours ago. What did I have? Oh, my wife cooked. Cooked some Chinese stuff. It was good. And so they shortened the Currie Cup because it's a World Cup. Yeah, I feel it's going to be the right direction. Yeah. They probably should have done the same with the Mitre 10 Cup, but again, I haven't been following the Mitre 10 Cup as much as I should be, but man, Rugby World Cup's on, so what are you going to do? Do you think Owen Farrell is currently the best fly half in the world? Bro, he's playing 12. Is he the best inside centre in the world? He's a pretty darn good player, though, isn't he? Tackling technique needs a bit of work. That's true. I guess that may be down to his father's league background. I don't know. But when the guy kicks, he runs, he's got gas, he sets things up. The guy is pretty much one of those all-round package players that doesn't come along that often. So, very good player. Rowan was an absolute monster in the Currie Cup final. Yeah. I like Rowan Pina, so that's cool. What time is it in New Zealand? It's 9:30 a.m. here in Ireland. It's 8:30 p.m. My sleep these weekends has been slightly limited. Like you'll probably notice for the late game. I mean, the first game was late, the Japan-Russia. I looked like I was falling asleep in that video, and then last night was All Black South Africa. Tonight's going to be England Tonga. Yeah, man, because my kids get up at like 6 a.m. on the dot, so that's proving tough. But I mean, tomorrow is just one game, and I don't have to go to work tomorrow, so I can have a nap like an old man. I can have a nap during the day after my kids head off to daycare. Craig says this is embarrassing. Scotland need to play more than 2 phases without dropping the effing ball. Yes, they do, man. They are looking, but I mean, the Irish defense is putting a lot of pressure on them, so that's probably causing some of those errors. And now Hamish Watson's down. Not good news. Did you play rugby before? I never played. I never played formally, man. I was a skinny guy when I was a kid, and I did play rugby, bull rush, if you know that game in New Zealand. Those kind of tackle games, but only ever in PE class or at lunchtime. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Like, I would feel like the man because I was bigger than most of my friends because I'm like 6'4". So I still had the size to bust through my friends, but when the guys who actually played in the first 15 played, they flattened all of us. So, yeah. Played more cricket than I did rugby. But I mean, I still enjoyed the tackle sports. It's cool. Did you see Mornay Stain will be placing Pollard at the Bulls? Yeah, man. How old is Mornay Stain now? He's getting on, but he's still got that boot on him. Will you be live streaming England Tonga? Probably not, because I'll have to finish this stream, get that video done. Yeah, probably not. I'll probably just do this one. Hopefully G-Man or somebody else will stream one of the other ones. Man, Hamish Watson's looking pretty unwell. Will your kids play rugby? Says John T. I already signed my son up for this thing called Rugby Tots. It's like where toddlers, because my son's now 3, but he did it when he was 2. They run around with little like foam balls, and they learn how to pass. They learn how to kick. Just like kind of real basic skills, running with the ball, dodging and stuff like that. It's all more like play. But he was doing like swimming classes at the same time, and I was like, oh man, it's a draining weekend to go to swimming class and go to Rugby Tots, and my daughter's now got swimming classes as well. So it's like we're taking a break from that. Maybe when he's a bit older, we can see what he wants to do. HBot Games is Irish. You must be happy enjoying this game, man. Could you do one of those streams where you show us how you make the highlights vids? You mean like how I do my reviews? Like a behind the scenes? That sounds like Patreon content. But RWC knows all about Patreon content. So yeah, I probably could do that. It's nothing glamorous. Although I do have some lights in the lounge now because it's dark as in here. Hey, William, how are you, buddy? Will the Sunwolves be replaced in Super Rugby? I can't see it happening. I think they're going to stick with the current format. Well, the broadcast deal's up, and then they're going to go down a team to make it more possible to do the round robin. I think if there's going to be a Fiji team or some kind of Pacific team, they will need some kind of billionaire sponsor to make it worth everybody's while. That's sad but true. Do the Scots have any chance? I'll not say no, but I will say it's going to be tough. This is important. 2 minutes prior to half time for both sides. Scotland can't afford to concede anything. Hey from Oz. Hey, buddy. Ruben says, no topic. Just like your content. Keep it up. I plan to, man. I do love it. I've really been guilty. There's been so many videos to do, which is not a bad thing. So much rugby to watch, but I usually like to go into the comments and really reply. I feel like it's a kind of like a banter thing. I still read them, but I've been replying to bugger all, which is kind of bad. But tomorrow there's only one game on, and I'm off work for the whole day. So I think I'll delve into the comments a wee bit tomorrow. They're usually pretty good. Like, YouTube gets a pretty bad rap for having toxic comment sections, but it's usually pretty good, at least on my channel. So I do enjoy it. Thank you, Ruben, man. Appreciate that. Wallace is in the house. Hey, Wallace. Wallace must be getting ready for the next game. All Blacks Ireland final. Man, that quarterfinal for Ireland right now is looking interesting. Because Ireland are looking sharp. People were writing them off after that England game, but Ireland didn't become a bad team after one game. So, yeah. Joe Schmidt's trying to do a poker face, but I think he does look tense. Love the channel. What do you reckon about those scrum calls in New Zealand, South Africa? I mean, Moody looked to be under the pump. I'm not sure why we weren't getting penalised there more. Like, I heard Garces say to Dane Coles, you need to watch your prop with his elbow going on the ground, but then nothing else happened. So I want to do a video one day about kind of stuff that I would like to see changed or adjusted, but I mean, I'm definitely no expert on what goes on in the front row. Conor Murray has missed a penalty right on halftime. It was long. But yeah, I feel like World Rugby could be doing a better job of how they monitor the scrums. Halftime. 19 points to 3. Congrats on 17,000 subs. Have I hit 17,000? I know it was 16,000 something, like 900, when I was watching the Italy game. Let's see if the stats are updated for halftime in Ireland, Scotland. I get the feeling they're going to be mostly in Ireland's favour, but we'll have a look. Why is Murray taking the kicks at 16 inches? Nah, that was just a long-range one. I think Murray's got a slightly bigger boot. What are your thoughts on France and their chances in this World Cup? They are always quiet but tend to sneak up on you. You feel like France are the kind of team that could do enough in 40 minutes to beat one big team, but I don't know if they could do it 2 weeks in a row or 3 weeks in a row. Like, they should have done better in that game against Argentina, but man, did Argentina do well in that second half. So, right. First half stats. Run meters 199 to 116 in favor of Ireland. That's not a huge running game, but I guess that's what we've been watching. Possession 57% Ireland. Territory 62% Ireland. Man, that's Joe Schmidt's game, huh? Turnovers conceded 6 apiece. Scotland having issues. I mean, they've only had 43% possession, yet they've still got the same amount of turnovers. And defensively, both sides are looking not too bad. Ireland is tackling at 96%. That's amazing. Even Scotland's at 89%, but they've still had trouble with those big forward runners. So, cool. Sexton not kicking because of groin strain. Oh, true. When did that happen? Down the beer, man. Get some more at halftime. Okay, I'll finish the Scotland beer. We'll finish off Scotland. I'll run and get one more. It's a box of 24 Heinekens, which have all got a World Cup team on them. If it's got a trophy on it, I win a trip to like the World Cup final or something. But you know that's going to be one bottle amongst like hundreds of thousands of bottles. So not holding my breath on that one. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Right. It's not been in the fridge, but it's still relatively cold because this room is not warm. Bottle number 2, it's Australia, rather than a trophy. Thank you, Shane. Appreciate the content. That's awesome. All Blacks now only have easy games until the semis. Yeah, they should deal with Canada, Namibia, and Italy relatively easily. I want to see Rico Ioane play. Rico will probably get a game, and he's going to have to perform really well in that game to dislodge the other guys. How much is a box in NZ for those World Cup beers? I wish we had those here. It's 24 Heinekens, which, like I said, have got these World Cup thingies on them. And if you get the bottle with a trophy on it, you get a trip to the World Cup final. But like I said, I think it's only one winning box out of how many? And it's 40 New Zealand dollars. That was on special. I only ever buy on special. You know, I'm stingy. $40 for 24 beers, which I guess in the scheme of things is actually not too bad. And because somebody told me to use my belt buckle to open the beer, that's what I've just done. Very good advice. Here's to Australia. Hey, Zoe. That's my niece's name. Thoughts on Lama? Lama is definitely having a better game than people give him credit for. There's some players that just get a lot of stick, and that guy seems to attract a lot of negative attention. He is definitely not the best player under the high ball, but he definitely adds a lot more when he's got ball in hand than Carney. But then if you want reliable and safe, Carney is your man, although I know he's injured. You should be drinking Coke. Why should I be drinking Coke? Missing something. Who would you pick for the starting All Blacks 15 against Canada on Wednesday week? I feel like they probably play the same team and then rotate for the game after, but I could be wrong. There's like 10 days, which is a long time. So, yeah, we'll see. Who do you support? I support the All Blacks primarily. I should probably do a video on actually where my loyalties lie for a lot of the teams that aren't the All Blacks, but Jonty, again, man, this is number 3. Take it easy, man. Just save some money for your kids' university education. But I do appreciate it. You're the man. Predictions for quarterfinals. Also, I miss New Zealand beer prices. Ridiculous. Aussie. Okay, yeah. Quarterfinals. I think New Zealand will end up playing Scotland by the looks of this. I know people will say Japan, but I'll still stick with the Scots. I would back New Zealand to get through that one. Ireland, South Africa, at this point, is looking like one hell of a game. Kind of too close to call. The other ones, I'm still going to say France go through to the quarters because they won their game. England, Wales, and Australia. So, yeah, we'll see. Let the Guinness flow. Guinness, not bad. Don't mind a bit of Guinness. Are you watching on Spark? I'm watching on Duke, which is Television New Zealand's free-to-air channel. Like, Spark apologized and decided they'll put this game on regular TV so everyone can watch it. So I'm watching on regular TV. I wasted my money on Spark. Now it's free on TV. You can request a refund from Spark. They sent me an email today to say, do you want a refund? So, yeah. Ribsy is obviously in a good mood with the Aussie bottle. He says, I'll go halves on a box for you. Enjoy your time off. Definitely enjoying the time off, man. It hasn't even started. It's just been a regular old weekend. But, yeah, tomorrow's a day off. That's going to be nice. Just like to, I do have to do some housework and stuff, but you can handle that. So I will, yeah, just enjoy the rugby, man. It's once every 4 years. Everyone at my work is looking at me like I'm a moron when they're like, yeah, fair enough, but like, oh, what are you doing with your 3 weeks off? I'm just staying home to watch rugby. Like, no, really, what are you doing? Where are you going? I'm staying home to watch rugby. What's wrong with that? It's legitimate use of my annual leave, man. My company gives 5 weeks annual leave. I've got to use it somehow. Haven't had a break for ages. But yeah, thank you, Ribsy, man. Cheers. Thank you for the beer. Got to go see you. Okay, see you, man. Just go, Rio. I can never pronounce your name. Dark Horse, Pumas. Pumas will need to get a win over England in all likelihood. Bit jealous of you having that beer a bit early here. It's never too early as long as you're watching the rugby, right? That kind of counts. I wonder how much of a disadvantage has been for Rico Ioane being the wing at the Blues. You could argue that Bridge and Reese's success is from the back of being in a quality team with the Crusaders. I think Rico signed a contract with the Blues just recently, so that's the bet. He's got a lie in it, man. He made it. Ribsy's wife is going to Bali with a couple of friends, and they think I'm a nut for staying here and watching rugby. No. Enjoy that freedom, man. Your wife's gone. She's doing her thing. You do you, man. Rugby World Cup's once every 4 years. What are you going to do? Do you think Japan can beat Scotland considering the short turnaround? I think Scotland will pretty much change their whole team for that last game. So I don't think, barring injuries, I don't think Scotland will have too much issues with fatigue and whatnot. I think Scotland's schedule is actually not too bad, barring that one turnaround. So, yeah, I mean, Japan were okay against Russia. Scotland aren't doing great here. I would still, if I had to put my mortgage on it, you'd be back in Scotland. Who's winning? Ireland are winning. Never too early if you watch rugby. I'll drink to that. Yes, Adam, drink to that. Wallace has just brought me a beer. I haven't found an England bottle. Like I said, this Heineken World Cup beer is Australia. I've just finished off Scotland. Ireland might be finishing Scotland now. Cheers for that, Wallace. I will definitely drink to that. I can see in the box, I can see Samoa and more than one. I've got multiple Samoas. I don't think I have an England or a Wales as yet. But yeah, we'll see how we go. Duke are only streaming tonight's game. Pretty sure. No, I think Duke have got all the games on tonight. Duke have got, England Tonga's on next, 9:45 till 12:30. So Spark in New Zealand basically said, we stuffed up the All Blacks and the Springboks, so here's 3 free games. If you bought the package like me, that doesn't do me much good because I would have had it anyway, but I guess they're trying to be nice, so hey, I'm not going to request a refund. John T says, hope Bali's internet will be fast enough to stream. Yeah, that's Ribsy's wife who's going to Bali. My wife is going to work while I'm on annual leave. But it's my birthday while I'm on annual leave as well. So, hey, but thank you for that, John T, man. That's 4. John T, you got kids to think about, or like a student loan to pay off. $3 will buy me another beer, I'm sure. Gonna have to get through this Aussie beer because you're giving me a lot of Aussie dollars. Appreciate it, man. What's the Aussie beer of choice, John T? Is it 4X? Or do people mock that over there? Is it VB? What's another Aussie beer? I can't think of one. Wallace, what's the best UK beer? Is it one of the Welsh beers? Oh, Castle. I do need to try Castle, the South African beer. I haven't tried it. Never tried it. Georgia's backline are amateur players. Yeah, I looked at their lineup, and it's like, you look at the forwards, and it's like, plays in France, 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 plays in France. And two of the half-backs play in France, and then most of the rest of the team, apart from the captain, I forget his name, he's the center, all the other guys just play locally. So that's the difference between Georgian forwards and Georgian backs, I guess. But, I mean, I think everybody loves the Georgians, right? Everyone wants to see the Georgians do well. So let's hope they put in a good shift, although the Welsh will still want to get a big win. If you're not drinking Stella, then you're not drinking beer. Really? Is Stella? Stella does not sponsor the World Cup. Stella isn't giving me a chance to go to the World Cup final if I can find the trophy bottle. If I'd bought 2 boxes of Heineken, I only bought 1, but if I bought 2 for $80, I could have got a free glass, but I only bought 1. So woe is me. I only got the beer and no free novelty World Cup glass from Heineken. Yes, it is half time. Do you see an upset with Fiji and Wales? I don't reckon so. Wales's defense, like, Fiji is that team that can unlock anybody at a moment's notice, but Wales is just the ultimate defensive team with Sean Edwards' defense. They are very hard to break down, so I can't really see it. But yeah. Man, Paul has sent through $2 Australian. I suppose must be this Aussie beer. All you Aussie guys are being very generous tonight. I appreciate that, Paul. Cheers, man. The second half is about to get underway between Ireland and Scotland. It looks they've either had some fireworks going at halftime or it's raining. Because it's looking very gray. Very gray indeed. I put $1,000 on Wales making the final. You are a brave man. But if we're speaking of gambling, current score, by the way, is 19-3. It's just started second half. That's 19 to Ireland. The TAB or TAB here in New Zealand had a competition where you put $30 on any pool game to have a particular try scorer, and no matter what happens in that game, for every try, they'll credit your account with a $5 bonus bet. So I put $30 on Padovani to get a try in that Italy game, and boy, did he get a try. He was only paying like $1.57. But a bit of good luck. I don't usually gamble on the stuff, man, honestly. But that's a bit of fun every now and again, hey. Now you've seen the tipping potential of the national beers, you should grab them all out. Make sure you're drinking the right beers during the right games. Yes, I should do another stream and get out England's beer for the next game home. Scotland, it's only a minute and a half into the second half, but they're looking fired up. They got some tempo about them. Heremia is in Rotorua. I do like Rotorua. My wife wants to take the kids there for a holiday. Hogg just won a penalty because he was shoved while trying to force a ball down on his own line. Were you surprised about the French result? No, I predicted that one in Super Brew, not by the margin, but I predicted the French to win. I wasn't convinced about the Argentinian scrum going into that one, and that wasn't actually the reason that the French won, because the Argentinians won a few scrum penalties, but I still had the French to win that one. So, yeah. Like the jersey. Yeah, I was looking for a Namibia jersey, and I thought it was the national team, but it's a Curry Cup jersey, which I didn't know until people pointed it out. But it's a Namibia jersey, so I will take it. Namibia gear is notoriously hard to find, so I just got whatever I could. Current score is 19 points to 3 in Ireland's favour. It is 43 minutes gone. First half was pretty dominant by Ireland. First 3 minutes of the second half, still early days, but Scotland are looking a touch sharper than they were in that first half. Watson went off injured at the end of that first half, which is bad news for Scotland. Do Namibia have a decent chance against Canada? I reckon they do, man. They looked pretty sharp at times against Italy. Obviously, Italy still ran away with it, but I thought Namibia were pretty good value for that game. For a team who's like most capped player has like 60-something caps, they obviously don't get to play enough rugby. But I thought they held a pretty good account of themselves, so I was pretty happy with that. Oh, Scotland have just gone a bunch of phases and then knocked it on. Who gets the money I just sent? I hope you do. Yeah, I get some. YouTube gets some. They take a cut. But, I mean, they do all the hosting for all the IT stuff. So they got to get a cut. That's why I started the Patreon thing, because I think Patreon, for those people who send me monthly money on Patreon, the Patreon takes like 5% for like admin. But if you do it through YouTube, my channel is not big enough to do it through YouTube. But if you do, YouTube takes like 30% or something. Yeah, different. Paul Mahino says, Irish coach to be Blacks coach. Joe Schmidt to coach the All Blacks. Well, he said he's coming back to New Zealand after this World Cup, but is taking a break from rugby. So whatever that means, like Gatland has already got the Super Rugby job. He basically forced who's the Chiefs coach, Colin Cooper, to step down from his Chiefs gig a year early. And the Chiefs were like, yeah, give us Gatland. And Gatland wants to get to the Chiefs so he can get into the All Blacks. So Joe Schmidt is clearly a very, very clever coach. He could get it done. But I think a lot of us would like to see Scott Robertson do it as well from the Crusaders, because that guy also seems to have a knack for success. Everything he touches turns to gold. So possible for Joe Schmidt to go to the All Blacks, but I wouldn't put money on it. Joe is staying behind in Ireland for a bit. Isn't he coming back to New Zealand though? I thought that was his thing. I know he's taking a break from rugby. That's his main kind of his goal at the moment. Like after the Rugby World Cup, he's having a kind of a detox. Hope your cut is bigger than YouTube's. Yes, I'm pretty sure it's definitely more for me than for YouTube, but YouTube does take a cut. Who do you think will win Super Rugby 2020? Probably the Crusaders. I still need to finish my Super Rugby season reviews, if you believe that or not. At this point, they're probably not going to get many views, but I'll still do them. I felt pretty bad because I didn't do previews for all of the Rugby World Cup teams. I didn't do Georgia. I didn't do Russia. Didn't do Tonga. So I feel a little bit incomplete. So I will finish the Super Rugby reviews. And it won't be too long until I'm doing Super Rugby previews. And I imagine the Crusaders squad, barring a few of those big guns who are going overseas and whatnot, retiring, will be largely full of that same championship squad. Ribsy said, I already did the Reds, so I'm happy. Yeah, I started at the bottom. I started working my way up. So I've already done the Reds. I've already done the Blues. Already done the Sunwolves. So I still need to do the top teams. Auckland Blues, let's hope we can make the playoffs. That's the dream, man. How long has it been? I think I'm still going to buy a Blues membership, but I feel like an idiot for doing it. But yeah. How far do you think Ireland can go? Man, at this rate, far. It's just the quarterfinal. Quarterfinal pressure is going to be on the Irish guys for that game when they get there, because it's like the All Blacks in 2011, right? They squeaked past the French in that final and probably didn't deserve to win that game. In all honesty, I watched it and we were good in the first half, and then the French came back. They missed a penalty. Like in 2015, we legit had a team that went and dominated and managed to get a comfortable win. But until you get that kind of monkey off the back, it's really tough. And I think that's where the Irish will be. If they can get past the quarterfinal, then they're kind of free to just play. But that quarterfinal is going to be hard. Big Will's in the house. The Mighty Blues will be 2020 Super Rugby champs. Don't put any money on it. Or maybe put $1 on it, because it might make you a few bucks, because it's not going to be one of the favorites. Man, Scotland have got... We're not talking about this game, eh? Scotland have had a lot of ball in the second half. They've gone 8 phases, 9 phases. But they're finding it really tough to break that Irish line. They're having to kick it. When is my next stream? It's hard to plan the streams because I haven't yet tested. Because remember, all the games here in New Zealand are on streaming. Today's an exception because the streaming service stuffed up yesterday. So they've put the games on TV. I'm yet to test whether my internet connection is quick enough to stream YouTube and also stream the game at the same time. So I had kind of a duh moment the other day, because I thought, because the only way I can watch the game on TV is to connect this laptop, which you guys are on, to my TV with an HDMI cable. I thought, well, if I'm watching the game, then how can I do the YouTube streaming at the same time? I'll need a second laptop. And I realized I brought my work laptop home. So I could use the work laptop. I'll try it, but I'll have to test it first to see if the connection's quick enough. It should be fine because I paid for a decent connection, but because I knew I was doing YouTube. So, yeah. 9 phases and we kicked away possession, says Craig. Yes. But now you still got the ball. 49 minutes, 5 phases. It's in the Irish 22, like 10 meters out. 6 phases. Scotland could really use a try here. I can hear the chant of Ireland, Ireland from the crowd. Oh, and Scotland have knocked it on. Barkley knocked it on. Wow. Man, I mean, it's wet. It's raining pretty hard. Oh, Gregor Townsend doesn't even flinch. Just came across the stream, the flag with the red cross. Is that the Ulster one? Yeah, that's the Ulster one behind me, and then there's a Munster one here. That's my couch behind me. Don't worry, I'm not sitting on the Munster flag. I know that would be a no-no. So it's just, I will eventually hang this over there where I'm doing the videos. That's the plan. I try to rotate the flags up because people have sent me lots of flags. What type of internet connections do you Kiwis get down there? Well, I can't even remember my one, to be honest. I know that because my place only got upgraded to high-speed internet because it was just ADSL until very recently. My YouTube videos, when I first started my channel, took about 2 hours to upload. 2 hours, maybe 3. Now it's like 3 minutes, 2 minutes. So, yeah, I only got upgraded this year, and I clicked the thing to pay extra for higher speed. So I hope it's quick, but it's New Zealand, so even our quick is probably most countries slow. Kiwi internet is bloody amazing. I work for a large internet provider in Australia now. I'm in New Zealand. Really, John T? Really? Can't believe New Zealand's internet is better than somewhere else. No way. No way. I thought we had kind of the worst in the world being all the way down here. I like how sitting on a flag is wrong, but you can buy a set of boxer shorts and fart in it all day. That's probably a thing. I just wanted to make sure nobody thinks I'm sitting on Munster's flag because, I don't know, that would be a thing. I know, like in the NHL, the ice hockey, they have like, I think it's in like the changing rooms or like the foyer or something. They've always got the logo of the team, and you're not supposed to walk across it. It's like a taboo thing. So I just wanted to make sure no one thinks I'm sitting on Munster. Lord of the Kings says I'm on VDSL. Yeah, you got VDSL. I was on ADSL, and it was horrendous. It was horrendous. It was so bad. We got a sense of humor, Munster. Don't worry. Okay, just making sure. Just making sure. I'm watching Ireland-Scotland live on ITV England, and Barclay knocked it on about 2 minutes after you said. Yeah, it's weird how, depending on where you are, like someone told me they're watching ITV in the UK and said they were ahead of me, but you might be behind me. So sorry if I'm doing any spoilers for anybody. ADSL stands for average data speeds. LOL. Yeah, you might be right. It was worse than average, man. It was painful. I would do a video, set it to upload, go get dinner, put my kids to bed, like do some housework, and then before I was ready to go to bed, I would add the thumbnail, add the tags, change the subject line. Like it was literally that bad. Now I can do it like as the video's uploading, I do all the other stuff. But yeah, before it was just really, really bad. Are you still on your first beer? No, I'm on Australia. Scotland is already done. Scotland is done. And judging by the scoreline, Scotland also might be done. Maybe. You can't write them off, but just under half an hour to go, and it's still 19-3. Rookie numbers. Yes, 2 beers is definitely rookie numbers. There's still 22 in that box, so don't worry. There's plenty of time. I'm on the USA. Yes, I'm on 4 and it's 11 a.m. 4 and it's 11 a.m. That's impressive work. 52 minutes gone. It's 19-3 to Scotland. They are packing down a scrum. It's Irish feed. Barclay's gone off, so Blade Thompson has come on. John T. with another super chat. I think there's that 5 now. I'm losing track. What is Sky Sport worth now? It's still pretty expensive. I don't actually remember. I know it's a fair bit. Sky Sport. I remember there's the basic package and Sky Sport's like 30 something bucks on top of that. It's expensive. But yeah. Spark Sport, I paid 50 bucks to get the Rugby World Cup, all the games. I think now it's like 90, but they're offering refunds to people for the Rugby World Cup because of their service not being what it was supposed to be. Okay, mark for Stuart Hogg. But yes, Sky Sport's far too expensive. You got to buy a basic package, which I forget how much it costs, and then Sky Sport's like 30 or 40 bucks on top of that. It's expensive. I'm kind of a big fan of Rugby Pass because that's a service where you can just get the rugby and it's relatively inexpensive, but it's not available in New Zealand. So if I want to access it, I've got to use a VPN, which is kind of, well, it's not a pain. It's just, I wish the big companies here would kind of see the value in giving you that on-demand service, just giving you the sports you want, because not everybody is into all the sports. Some people just have 1 or 2 sports that they follow. 2 cents, mate. I'm unsubscribing if you don't chug that drink. Well, there's only a little bit to go. Australia is almost done. Almost done. Remember, I got a whole nother game to go. I've still got to do a video after this game and then watch a whole nother game and then do a video on that game. I'm multitasking continuously. Done. I also pay for NHL Live, usually in the playoffs. I can't be bothered watching a whole NHL season. Too many effing games. You are right, man. I cannot understand how those guys play so many games in the ice hockey, the NHL. They just play a ridiculous amount of games. They sometimes play 2 games in 2 days and they have a day off and then play another game, day off, play another 2 games. I mean, it's the kind of sport that's got rolling substitutes, so you don't get like rugby where you have to play 60 minutes or an hour. But, yeah. I do watch the games where I can, but they're on. Ooh, Ireland might be going to score. Conway. Bonus point try. Conway. I'm kind of happy for Conway because he's been in top form, but he's never usually the first choice guy. But I think with Earls out, they put Conway in, and that's good. That's good reward for him because he's been in good form. Conway try. All started from Scotland not fielding a box kick. I think that's game over, man. Try time. Scotland are definitely done now. Spoilers, I'm sorry. Yes. I don't think Scotland can come back. They have not scored yet again. Warn the Scots. It's 24-3 with a kick to come. I'm off my tits, says Jamie. Yeah. Do you still think Scotland will beat Japan? Yeah. I still reckon they will. But I mean, I think everyone who would kind of, apart from Scotland, would be happy for Japan to go through. But I do get the Scottish kind of getting annoyed with everybody just saying, is Japan going to beat Scotland? Is Japan going to beat Scotland? Is Japan going to beat Scotland? It must get a bit frustrating. But, yeah. This has not been the Scots' best outing, that's for sure. Murray has missed the conversion. Why is Connor Murray taking the kicks? Yeah, they reckon Sexton's got a bit of a groin. Someone said in the stream that Sexton's got a bit of a groin strain, so he's taking it easy. But Sexton took the first kick, so I don't know. Yeah, it's a worrying one for Cardi's just come on now. Sexton has just gone off. So it'll be interesting to see if he starts taking the kicks, but they're already carrying one injured 10. So hopefully Sexton's fine, but let's hope Murray doesn't taking over the kicking duties full time. Yeah, he's definitely a backup, isn't he? He's not usually the normal guy. Unlucky for Scotland, feeling pretty disappointed with their performance. I think most of us thought it was going to be a bit better than this. That being said, the game is not over, but yeah, 24-3 after 58 minutes. Scotland fielding a largely top strength side. I think we would have thought that would have been a bit better. Oh, here's trouble. I couldn't quite get it done. I'm lucky enough to get KO Sports for free in New Zealand with all the games live and HD, but it's Australian 25 months. How do you get KO from New Zealand? Is it not region locked? What was your pick for this one? Let me check. I feel like I was definitely more conservative than this result is proving so far. Super Brew. I will be doing a video on this for Patreon a bit later. But my round scores, picks. Where's my picks? Ireland, Scotland. 97 people, or 92% of people are picking. Holy hell, I only picked Ireland by 6. I was giving the Scots a lot of credit. Come on, Scotland. You need to get closer. What was I thinking? Big Will says KO is awesome. I've heard it's pretty good compared to getting the whole Foxtel thing. Lenny Leonard says, I have Tonga to win by 34 points against England. That's probably one you should reconsider. Wow. Irish scrum is dominant. Yeah, swap the teams is probably about right. Maybe England by 34. If Tonga could get a win in that game, that would be, again, like Japan level over Springboks upset. The in-laws are here. Got to say goodbye. Tell the in-laws to watch the rugby, man. 20 minutes to go. Working at Telstra, so get it for nothing. It's a good perk. Works perfectly in New Zealand. I did not know that KO worked in New Zealand. I would have assumed it is region locked. You're right. After reconsidering, I'll go Tonga by 44. Come on, man. You're going the wrong direction. Live streaming the England match? Nah, man, I don't think so. I think I will do this video after this game, the review of Ireland, Scotland, and then I will, probably not live streaming on Tonga, I think. Well, that is on TV. I'll see. I'll see if G-Man's streaming something. If he's streaming, then I won't bother. Lama didn't have that ball, and yet Graham still took him out. Ireland, Wales should be tier B as well. Come on, man. I bet you England have a poor first half and then win it in the second. Don't England usually start out of the blocks like on fire? Isn't that their thing? Man, I feel like Scotland have been shite my entire life. The last time the All Blacks played in Scotland, it was a close game. But they didn't get the win over the All Blacks. Scotland were one refereeing decision away from making a semi-final the last World Cup, but they just didn't get the result, eh? So, Would Aki have made the Kiwi team if he didn't make the move? I feel like he developed more over there, so maybe not. But the work they did on him to get him to be the player they wanted was pretty good. Namibia will beat the All Blacks. Namibia all the way. Again, don't put money on it. Jones has been hiding our poor first half so nobody can guess the game plan. Laumape is better than Aki. Laumape is probably a more destructive player than Aki, that's for sure. A lot of people would like to see Aki at the World Cup. If Japan beat us, says Craig, they deserve to go through. Yeah, well, it's not looking the best for Scotland at the moment, but this is just one game, so I guess we will see. England are the great white chokers. We'll see how they go under Jones. He seems to have the knack for those, mental, I don't know if it's mind games or at least getting the guys mentally in the right frame to go into the game. Morning, chaps. Morning, man. It's 9:23 in the evening here, but that's fine. Morning. Story of Scotland's 20 years. It was a tight game, but couldn't get it win in the end. Yeah, and today is not even that good. It's just not going their way, man. Ireland's defense has just been too solid. Well, I mean, they've had a pretty good run in the second half, but again, they just can't break the defense. I'm watching the game and you are my commentator. Oh, sorry about that, bro. I've been talking a bunch of nonsense instead of actually talking about the game, but there's nothing much doing at the moment. It's Scotland going through phases and Ireland making tackles. So the ITV guy here is doing his best to spice things up, but he's struggling. Turnover for Ireland. And, they're going to clear it. Ireland just need to just secure this game out. Handling is dreadful by Scotland. Yeah, I mean, the conditions don't seem that conducive to great handling, but at a World Cup test match, you do need to be doing better than this. Ireland's defense is great. I absolutely agree. They are just controlling things like crazy. What happened to the Scots? Yeah, don't know. Do you watch Peppa Pig? Because I do. Bro, I got 2 kids. 4, not even 4. 3 and a bit and 1 and a bit. I watch Peppa Pig. I watch Peppa Pig. Hog never passes, I swear. You could be right. I'll have to look at the stats on that guy. Yeah, got a beer. Stapraman. What is Stapraman? Who do you have to win, Ireland or South Africa? Too early to say. But both sides, well, Ireland's defense is looking very sharp. South Africa at times were looking sharp last night, so we will see. Have worked out that I'm 60 seconds behind your feed? Yeah, sorry about that with the spoilers and whatnot, but at this point, 24-3, I don't think 64 minutes. I don't think we're going to get any huge surprises between now and the end, but I guess you never know. Don't dodge it, mate. Ireland or South Africa? I did my predictions video a while ago, and I picked South Africa. If you look at that, your most recent game is how you are playing. Maybe Ireland. I'm still dodging, aren't I? Tough to compare playing New Zealand and playing Scotland. Very good point. Very good point. Ireland should, based on the world rankings, beat Scotland. And South Africa should lose to New Zealand, but you feel like South Africa looked better against New Zealand than Scotland have done against Ireland. Czech beer. Can't play rugby but make great beer. Okay. I don't know how much Czech beer they sell over here. We don't get that much variety. Wood rankings are a joke at the moment. Yeah, the Wood rankings aren't the best. Whoa, Ireland on a break. It was Farrell. Stockdale. They're in the Scots 22. They got advantage. Ireland haven't had hardly any ball this half, but all of a sudden they're up in the Scots 22. Does your Peppa Pig have an English accent? Yeah, we get the original version, but sometimes I also show it to the kids in Chinese because they're half, so they need to learn that stuff. Watching from the Ukraine. Nice. Are you able to see the game in the Ukraine? Who's the broadcaster? Xin Chao from Saigon. Is that Ni Hao in Vietnamese? It's month by month for the world rankings. Not really fair to criticize it. Yeah, week by week, month by month. Did you watch Italy versus Namibia? Bro, I did a review on it. Why are we getting into Peppa Pig? Yeah, man. No broadcast at all. Okay, that's a pity. You'll have to use the VPN or something to get it on our TV or KO or something else online. 24-3. It's about to be 3 more points to Ireland on 67 minutes. 67. Penalty. 27 points to 3. Best has been proving his worth today. He's not going to get much criticism after this one, is he? That's true. Yes, it is. Forced to watch on ITV Player via VPN in Vietnam. Yeah, I think that's the way a lot of countries are having to go. Although one guy in China told me he was able to watch the games directly on the Rugby World Cup app. So try that as well. Grant is here. Nice. Hey, Grant. Grant has also sent through a super chat. Thank you for that, buddy. Did World Rugby give back our number one status after the South Africa game? You know what, Grant? I haven't even checked the world rankings. I guess they'll be updated every Monday, right? That's usually when they bring them out. Monday in the UK or Ireland time, I think. But yeah, you've got to imagine a New Zealand win over a South African team, which is a higher ranked team than Scotland, will be worth more. But that being said, the Scots are losing by more than the South Africans lost. So that's going to be a good one. Maybe I'll do a video about that, Grant. But cheers, man. Good to have you along. Hope the weather in Taiwan is nice. Italy have 2 shows against South Africa. None and shit. Italy drew the pretty short straw, didn't they, in a pool with South Africa and New Zealand. So maybe maybe South Africa under Alistair Coetzee, but under Rassi, nah. What do you think will be the result between the England game? I'm thinking of putting $250 on it. Bro, if you're putting money on it, you need to go with your own call. I was thinking England by... I'll check my Super Bro. I think I picked 30-something. No, Super Bro. I picked England by 37. I hope Tonga will do better than that, but that's my pick. The Irish defense, man, it just keeps holding. So good. It must be frustrating for Scotland fans to watch right now. Yeah, there is a yellow card for Scotland. Man. Scotland are putting on the pressure. It's Tyke Byrne. Yeah, Byrne's not going to get back on. That's going to be it. But, man, they just keep holding. Are you from Namibia? Nah, man. I'm from Auckland, New Zealand. I still got this jersey on from the last video. I literally filmed the Namibia Italy review, went to put my daughter to bed, came back here, set up the live stream, and this is it. I am here. I haven't even had a chance to get other clothes on. Don't think there are many Scotland fans still watching this. Probably not at this point, man. 9 minutes to go. Well behind in this game. It's just not been their night. Irish defense has just been phenomenal. So, I mean, in Finn Russell and Hogg, you've got 2 guys that can unlock a lot of defenses, but not the Irish tonight. I thought you were from China. Grant, I did live in China, the mainland, for 7 years. What influence the mainlanders had on me in those 7 years remains to be seen. Still haven't been to Taiwan. From Namibia. If you're from Namibia, what did you think of the performance tonight? Were you pretty happy with the guys? The real China. England have no show of hitting 50. Scotland kicking the ball away. Go figure. Who's my favorite All Black? Current or all time? All time is probably, I think I've said it before, Grant Fox or Michael Jones. I've met both those guys when I was a young fella. Current don't know. Maybe Ben Smith, although he's kind of out of favor at the moment. He's only on the bench, but he seems like a guy who shouldn't be as good as he is at rugby, but he is just so good. Favorite Springbok? Grant Fox was the most boring All Black ever. Bro, that guy kicked goals like nobody's business. Kick goals. Probably influenced by the fact that I was an Auckland supporter growing up, right? And that guy saved us the Ranfurly Shield many times. Scotland got advantage. They need to score. Stockdale jumps out of the line once again and makes a stunning tackle. Favorite Springbok? A year ago, I would have said Malcolm Marx, but that guy's probably not in the best form at the moment. Maybe Herschel Yankees. That guy's lightning, or at least like very exciting at the moment. Ben from Accounts looks like an accountant, but boy, he can play. Exactly right, man. He doesn't look like he should be a great rugby player, but he so is. He's pretty humble as well, which is what we like in New Zealand. No way. Zinzan's the best player ever. McCaw's second. Never had any skills from Zinni. I mean, the fact that Zinni kicked that drop goal says a lot. That's true. Brian Habana, for sure. That's true. Favorite meat for roast dinner? Probably lamb, man. I'm from New Zealand. Colby, actually, no, you're right. I do love Colby. I love me some Colby, man. That guy is amazing. He is like, he takes the Ben Smith thing to the next level. There's a guy who looks like shouldn't even be on the park. And yet he is just amazingly good at breaking tackles and he defends like a demon. So, yeah, Colby for sure. Paikakariki Express. Yeah, Cullen was the man as well. That's true. There's so many good players, man. It's really hard to choose. Scotland going to get a try. They got a man up. They got a maul 5 meters out. There's 4 minutes to go. Or is the Irish defense going to continue to hold? There's something about keeping a team tryless which will motivate them. But they've given away another penalty as advantage to the Scots. They have to score, surely. Nah. Too big. Colby is epic. Gotta love Lamb, for sure. Streaming England game. Nah, man, I think I'll finish streaming this one. I'll do my video, and then I'll probably be pretty shattered for that last one. So I'll watch the England game all on my lonesome, and then get that video up, go to bed. I think that's the plan. Oh, someone's typing to me in Chinese. Why do you call me up? 2 cents. There you go. You in China for 7 years. I was working there, man. Why are you writing to me in traditional characters? I need the simplified ones, but I can still read those. Being a Welshman, living in England, and being told you lamb, sheep, yeah. Us and the Welsh do have our thing for sheep, don't we? This game sucked. This game has kind of had limited opportunities in the second half, that's for sure. But if you like defense, this has been quite the watch. Scotland lose an attacking line out. 75 minutes. Standard of reffing so far has been poor. Yeah. Refereeing so far in the World Cup. I don't think it's been that bad. They've missed some stuff. I think it's more about the TMOs. Like those kind of like the Hodge one and the Fiji game. I think that's one where the ref needs to get a call from the TMO. So I don't think the refs have been atrocious. They miss stuff. They're human, but I think the TMOs probably should be doing a bit better. Scotland have got another line out. The clock has stopped again. 4 minutes to go. Gardner from Australia is horrendous. We all have our favourites, eh? ITV coverage is good. Yeah, the ITV coverage seems to be not too bad from what I've seen. Forward pass. Scotland fans, if you are still here, you must be pulling your hair out. Favorite ref. Does anybody have an actual favorite ref? Probably Nigel Owens. But we're funny as rugby fans, eh? Because all we say is about consistency and whatnot, but often that's the guy who he doesn't follow the rules exactly by the letter. He seems to ref a wee bit by feeling. Tells them not to muck around and whatnot. So, yeah, but even he probably let a bit too much go in that first game. $76 40 There's a scrum being packed down. Irish feed, seeing as the Scots had that forward pass. 27 points to 3. Scotland are poor. Yeah, this is not the Scots' best game, that's for sure. 77 minutes. Irish defense has been really good tonight. Yes, Big Will, man. It has been phenomenal. Bryce Lawrence is still regarded as a public enemy in South Africa. Likewise, Wayne Barnes in New Zealand, although we've probably eased off a little bit on that. But he's still not totally forgiven here in New Zealand for that game against France. Can't see anyone scoring. Yeah. A shadow. Nigel Owens does seem pretty down to earth. Right, 2 minutes to go. Scotland have got the ball again. Can they finally get a try? Or will they make a mistake? Remember, the Irish have only got 14 guys on the field right now because Tyke Byrne is in the bin. Let go of that France game. That's hard, but I guess 2 World Cups later, yeah, we've probably let it mostly go. Oh, and the Scots knock on. A minute and a half. They can probably just kill this one off, Ireland. There goes my Super Brew margin. Yeah. Yep. They're going to pick a scrum to finish it off. All right, guys, this game is pretty much done. I'm going to head off and get stuff ready for the review of this game. Spoiler alert, it's going to be about how good the Irish defense has been. I'll have a look at the stats and whatnot in a minute. But I think I'm going to go get this video done and then get ready for that England-Tonga game. So, yeah, you guys take it easy. Thanks for joining me on the stream. It's been a bit of fun. I enjoyed talking about all kinds of stuff, Peppa Pig included. And all you guys who super chatted me, man, wow, that's phenomenally amazing. big week of rugby ahead. As you guys know from the stream, I've got a fair bit of time off, so I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys a bit later. Hopefully we'll get some more streams going before the end of the cup. I'll definitely try and get the streams going for the games, which I'm streaming on Spark, but also I will try to stream to YouTube. If my connection can handle it, we'll get it done. But yeah, cheers, guys. Thanks for keeping me company, and I will talk to you guys again soon, man. See you guys later.